What's going on, guys? Cody Marchant, HeinzZeke.com. We got Thursday night football all day long. It's Thanksgiving week. We got a bunch of football. Let's dive right into it. This video is not the first look for the Sunday slate. This is our first look in our main lineup build for Thanksgiving. We got some Thanksgiving football, guys. I'm so excited. It's been an awesome week of football so far. Tonight, hopefully, is the game that we all want it to be between the Rams and the Chiefs. I think I'm leaning Rams, guys. I don't know. I love the Chiefs. It's definitely, if you ask me what team do I like more, it's the Chiefs. I think they're a more fun team to watch. They're more of like, I don't know. It's kind of like, you kind of think of like the Patriots with the Rams, right? I'm a huge Patriots fan. Everyone hates us. I feel like the Rams, not everyone loves them the same as like you can't just feel for them the same way that you can with the Chiefs, the young Mahomes. Andy Reid, the GOAT. Just kidding. He's definitely not the best coach in that game. But we're talking about Thursday Night Football. That game's going to be nice. But right now we are talking about the 3-game slate of Chicago versus Detroit because, if you didn't look at the slate, you know that Detroit's on there and you know the Cowboys are on there because it's Thanksgiving. They always play on Thanksgiving all the time. Detroit, Chicago, Washington, Dallas, Atlanta, New Orleans. And quickly, before I get too far into it, just a quick sneak peek. All the guys I like are going to come from that Atlanta-New Orleans game, guys. It's pretty obvious looking at these other two slate games that this definitely has the most fantasy high-powered offenses. So that's just a quick sneak peek. I actually did an extra article for you guys this week, and I did a Thanksgiving football slate DFS lineups on DraftKings. It's just my exact same favorite values for week 12, but instead of doing the entire slate, this is just for Thanksgiving slate. I am in the process of writing my one for the entire week, but I did a separate one just for you guys watching this video so that you can go along with all my picks. I broke them all down, gave you projections. I tried to go above and beyond for this video for you guys. So do me a favor, subscribe to the channel because I'm going to keep doing it for you. Like the video so we can get a little bit, we can grow the channel a little bit. We've been doing good this week, so just help me out, I even give you all my projections. I give you a sample lineup at the end. Guys, this is the cheat sheet. So without further ado, let's hop right into the slate, right into the quarterbacks. Drew Brees and Matt Ryan at the top. No surprise there. Drew Brees is a beast. Like I wrote about right here, guys. He's throwing for 2,900 yards, 25 touchdowns, 1 interception with a 127 passer rating. Over the last 3 games, look at their points. 45, 51, 48. They're going to score points. He's going to throw touchdowns. His offense is ridiculous. He's got Traquan Smith, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, Taysom Hill, Josh Hill. This offense is nuts, guys. Drew Brees at 6,700 is worth it. There's not too much to say. In this last matchup at Atlanta, put up 43 points. He's a beast. He's going to get it done. He's going to complete 70+% of his passes. That's a no-brainer, guys. If you want to pay up for Drew Brees, because they're also tightly packed. The only guys I'm even considering this week are from Prescott to Brees. And I don't even want Prescott, really. I don't even really want Matt Stafford in this matchup, so I'm really, honestly, guys, only considering the top 3 of Brees, Ryan, and Trubisky. And when the worst is 5,900 and the best is 6,700 and 800 price gap, I do not mind at all paying up at quarterback this week. But that being said, where I'm most likely going at quarterback is right here at Matt Ryan. Same exact average points this year so far as Drew Brees. Look, 25.6, 25.6. Matt Ryan's putting on a clinic. Right now leads the league in yards. I know that Patrick Mahomes is right there. He's playing tonight. He's probably going to pass him again, but right now, Matt Ryan leads the league in yards. 22 touchdowns, 4 picks. If you want to look for his best game of the season, go no further than the Saints. 43.16 points. Completed 26 passes for almost 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. This was that Calvin Ridley game where he broke out for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. But coming off kind of a weak game, we knew that Dallas's defense is pretty tough against the quarterbacks. Only put up 14 points, but before that, 24.5, 32, 22, 30. He's been a beast all year, and he's at a really low price tag of 6,100. in what should be a shootout. I like Matt Ryan, I think, the most out of all the quarterbacks. But Mitch Trubisky's been a stud too, guys. Like, 24 points a game, only a point and a half behind them. You know, you're saving almost 1,800 from Drew Brees to go. Obviously, way lower floor, but the upside's there. 39 points, 36 points, 31 points, 46 points. And he's playing Detroit again, which 2 weeks ago he put up almost 40 points. So this is a great matchup. I like all three of those quarterbacks, but for me, I'm probably going to build it around Matt Ryan just because I know that I want the Falcon pass catchers this week. So I'm going to go Matt Ryan here. If you're thinking the same way as me, where it's like, you know, you want the Falcons pass catchers, say you want to stack Julio and Calvin Ridley, so you don't need Matt Ryan since you already got his upside with those two players, go ahead and play Mitch Trubisky if that's what you're feeling, you know. So that's what I'm going to do at quarterback. We're going to go down to defense because, you know, as you know from our lineups, we go quarterback, defense, tight end, running back, wide receiver. Defense, you know, I'm not looking at either the Saints or the Falcons. I don't want anything to do with that game. The Lions aren't that good at scoring points, only 5 points a game. And Chicago, I know that Trubisky's kind of, he's kind of mistake prone, but he doesn't turn the ball over a ton. He doesn't get sacked too much. Like, they don't really have the playmakers on that D-line that you really look for when building this lineup. So I'm not looking there. And I know that the Cowboys are getting to play against Colt McCoy, which is awesome. And they're at home. That's the only home defense that I like. But I'm focusing on the Bears and the Redskins at 26 and 2,900. You know, the Redskins are playing in Dallas, but in 4 of the last 5 games, guys, they've gone over 10 points. 15-15, 0 against Atlanta, where they gave up 38, 17 and 10. So they're, and look, they're doing actually better on the road. 15 on the road, 0 at home, 17 at home, on the road, 10 at home. Like, they're doing better on the road. Like, so it's not like they have that road-home split. Putting up 9 points a game, so I really like the Redskins at 26. If you want to go up 300 to play the Bears, I like that. Khalil Mack against an offensive line that gives up sacks. Last time they played each other, 12 points. Last 3 games, 28, 12, and 15. Like, I like the Bears a lot at 2,900. It's definitely my preferred. But I like the Redskins a lot. So I'm going to put the Redskins there. You know, even against Deshaun Watson last week, which is just a better version of Dak Prescott, they got 15-ish points. They got 10 points, but they got to the quarterback. They turned the ball over. You know, I don't know. Why does that only equal 10 points? They had a great game, but, I like the Redskins. If you like the Bears, fine. I love the Bears, so there's nothing against that. Going to tight end, I talked a little bit about tight ends where I said that I don't like the slate. Anyways, I said that I don't like the slate that much. And it's because if you look at it, Jordan Reed's pretty expensive, Hooper's expensive, Trey Burns expensive, and everyone cheap is just bad. Like, Ben Watson's got a 0-point game yesterday. Scale, Shaheen, Brown, like, none of these guys are even in play. Jeff Swaim is my only under 3K like tight end punt this week, just because he's getting some targets, 5 targets last week, 4 catches, 3, whatever. Like, he got 7 targets in this one game. He has the upside. His upside's like 8 to 10 points, guys. Like, you gotta think like that. So if you're punting tight end, you think, I want 8 points for a ceiling. Jeff Swaim's a good play, but there's no like stud under 3K. There's no stud under 4K. There's no stud on the slate. Like, Jordan Reed being the most expensive player on the slate, averaging 10 points a game this season is pretty bad. He's coming off his best game, though, where his chemistry with Colt McCoy was actually looking pretty solid. So that's kind of a big deal. He had 11 targets, caught 7 of them, got in the end zone for the first time since week 1. I don't mind Jordan Reed, but I think that what I want to do... I like Hooper. Look at him last week, guys. Hooper got 8 targets again. Didn't go very far with him. 11 targets the week before. 19 targets the last 2 weeks. That's pretty good on this slate. I know that the Saints are pretty good against tight ends, but I'm not super worried about it. Where I think I'm going to probably go is Trey Burton, just because he has, like, definitely the highest touchdown upside. he could be in actually more of a shootout than some of these other games. He had 4 catches last time against them. He only had 8. He must have rushed for 20 yards or something because he got 10 points, 4 for 40, no touchdowns, probably 20-yard run. But I like Trey Burton at 4,000. A little bit of salary relief, a little bit of a higher floor. I think he's averaging the most points on the slate besides Hooper, 0.4 more difference. But I like Trey Burton a little bit more than Hooper, so I'm gonna go Trey Burton at 4K. If you want to pay up for Jordan Reed, that's fine. My favorite player on this slate, my favorite running back of the entire Week 12, doesn't matter if it's Thanksgiving or if it's Sunday. I have Alvin Kamara ranked as my number 1 running back for the entire week. Let's look what he did last time they played Atlanta. 16 carries for 66 yards. It's not that great. Didn't even get in the end zone. 15 catches on 20 targets for 124 yards. Who has 20 targets as a running back? Who has that the last 3 weeks combined? Alvin Kamara got that in 1 game. I know that last week was weird against Philadelphia because they were just blowing him out. He only got 1 target. But Kamara is good for 7, 8 targets a game, and he has this upside in him. I mean, he's probably going to be more in the 6 to 8 target range is what I'm thinking. I think I gave an exact projection. I said 9 targets. So I'm going to give him a little bit more targets just because of the matchup, right? The one thing about Atlanta, they've given up a top 12 running back and RB1 finish in 9 out of their 10 games this year, or 8 out of their 9 games this year. 9 out of 10 games this year, they've given up a top 12 running back. And I think that Alvin Kamara is just going to be an absolute monster. He's so chalk on this slate, but you need him in your lineup, guys. No one has the upside. No one has the floor. Obviously, Zeke, you can't just pass over Zeke. He's been a monster lately. 36, 39 over the last 2 games. Over 200 total yards in both games. Nope, not over 200 total yards against Philadelphia, but 187 there, 201 against Atlanta. Got in the end zone twice against Philadelphia, once against Atlanta. I mean, he's averaging almost 100 rushing yards a game. He's averaging almost 100 yards or 102 rushing yards a game for his career. This guy's an absolute stud. I said it last week, probably the best running back in the league. The best rusher. You can't stop him when he gets going. 23 carries, 122. 19 carries, 151. The Washington front's been kind of good with those 2 Alabama boys up front, with Deron Payne, but I think that Zeke's just too good. So if you want to get Zeke in your lineup, I'm all for that. I don't think he's going to be in this build. Just like last week, I kind of messed up. I should have had Zeke in my lineup, and I wanted to. He was my RB2 for the entire week, but I got away from him, so that was a mistake. But this week, I think Kamara is clearly better than him. He might be outscored again, but that's what I think, is that there's a clear number 1 between Kamara and Zeke this week. Mark Ingram has been a stud, 20 points plus over the last 2, 25 and 28. Over 100 yards rushing in each game. Hasn't been super involved in the pass game, but that's all right. Atlanta, you can beat on the ground. You prefer to beat them through the air and with the running backs out of the backfield. And Mark Ingram can catch the ball. 3 catches for 58 yards and touchdown the week before. So Mark Ingram's a solid play at 6,100. But I just think this is a Kamara game. It's obviously that they can both go off. It's fine. That happens plenty of times. But I don't like having both running backs on the same team. So I'm only playing Alvin Kamara. 6,100, they're finally pricing up Ingram like they should. I've been playing him down here at 45 and 47. He was my favorite play of the week, 2 weeks in a row. So you can definitely play him. Kerryon, I'm not going to talk about him too much because he's hurt. We don't know anything right now as far as this video coming out on Monday morning. We don't know how his knee is. So we're just going to not worry about Kerryon right now. And we'll talk about Theo Riddick in a second. Tariq Cohen, I like Tariq Cohen this week. I think that I'll probably be having him in a lot of lineups because, he's just been a great pass catcher. 14.5 fantasy points a game. Last time he played Detroit, had 7 targets, caught 6 of them. Has been making those big plays lately, but I think that in this game he has one of those 35-plus yard plays. So if you want to go Tariq Cohen, go for it. I think that's a great play. Tevin Coleman had a couple big runs last week. He only ended with 11.5 fantasy points. That's kind of what he does. Besides his 32-point game, like 11 is kind of where he sits. He carried 8 times, 58 yards, caught 3 passes for 27. I don't see them in a game script where they can just pound the rock. I think that they're going to get beat up pretty good by New Orleans. But I don't hate the price of 5,200. But at 5,100, right below him, I like Adrian Peterson more. Dallas is more susceptible to the ground game than the pass game for sure. Adrian Peterson's a stud, but the main reason I like him this week is he's probably getting Trent Williams back, who is one of the best maulers at left tackle in the NFL. He's been out with a thumb injury. He just passed, forget his name, he just went to 5th, I think, all-time on rushing touchdowns with 105 for his career. Scored 2 touchdowns last week. He's got that goal line upside. You get a good amount of carries. Doesn't really do too much for you in the pass game, but I like Adrian Peterson this week. I think I want to sneak him in there, but let me just focus somewhere else for a second. Let me see if we see anything else down the list that's a little bit better value. Thompson's probably out again. Theo Riddick, he's a receiver, guys, and Carryon's not going to play. Not that I think that they're going to do anything for him in the run game, but we're really paying him for him right here. 7, and 8 targets over the last 3 games. Last time against Chicago, caught 6 for 60. That's kind of where he's at. I think he could easily hit 12 points, but it's not a huge value. You're not like getting a steal at 4,500. It's not a bad play. I think it's a pretty solid play, actually, but, that's just what I'm going to say on him. Jordan Howard, he's been so disappointing, guys. 7.5, 4.2. He just doesn't look like himself. I don't know what it is. If I'd just much rather have Tariq Cohen on this team right now, so I'm not going to talk about him too much. LeGarrette Blount, if Carryon's out, will probably be the leading rusher, but he is just not in his prime. It's pretty much all I got to say. He's just not explosive anymore. 0.1 and 0.4 of the last 2 games, guys. I'm not going to really focus there. Ito had one big run I saw, but it ended with 6 for 10. Catching 2 balls, he hasn't done anything special. At 3,400, he's in play, but I think you can do better. Capri Bibbs didn't get too much work last week as the passing down back. And there's not much down here, so at that other running back position, let me throw in Adrian Peterson, just because I think that's a solid starting base with Matt Ryan, Kamara, and Peterson, Redskins, and Trey Burton. So, especially if I think the Redskins are going to do well on defense and Peterson can come in, grind some clock. I like that. So, I'm going to go with those 2 at running back right now. I might put another running back in flex. Let me just see what I like at receiver. I already know that there's 2 guys that I really like. Obviously, Michael Thomas is a slam dunk play in this game, guys. He's a stud. No one can cover him. The only thing is, at almost 9K, he's on the wrong side of a potential blowout where even last week when they blew him out, he still went 4 for 92 for 100. With a touchdown, but 19 points isn't really paying off value there. And last game against Atlanta actually was one of his better games of the year. 25.9 points. So yeah, caught 10 for 129. I think he's pretty much in play for 20, 25 points this week. But I can also see a 15-point game out of him this week, guys. So he's not my favorite play at receiver. My favorite play at receiver is by far Julio. Just look at these yards over the last 5 games. 144, 104, 121, 107, 118. Caught a touchdown 3 straight. 21 plus points in 5 straight. What did he do last time against New Orleans? Not too much. 6 for 96. So that's Julio's bad game with 14.6 points. Because you're banking on him for that 100-yard bonus. He's scoring touchdowns, which is great. We all knew that positive touchdown regression was coming for him. 8,300. I need Julio in my lineup. It just needs to happen. I need to have Matt Ryan and Julio. If you want Drew Brees and Michael Thomas and you want to go cheaper than Kamara, do your thing, guys. But I'm going Matt Ryan, Julio. I'm playing my flag. Let's go Falcons. My next favorite play is pretty much, like I wrote about, guys, this might be a little bit biased. Kenny Golladay is one of my favorite players, but he deserves to be on this list. In the last 2 weeks, he has 27 targets. That's more than Julio. That's more than Michael Thomas. It's more than Antonio Brown, DeAndre Hopkins. You can name any wide receiver. He has more targets in the last 2 weeks than them. Kenny Golladay leads the NFL in targets over the last 2 weeks, and that's because Marvin Jones got hurt at the end of last week. He didn't play this week, and he's looking on the wrong side of questionable this week, on a short week on Thanksgiving. Last time against Chicago, put up 20 points, 13 targets, 6 for 70 and a touchdown. Beautiful touchdown catch this week, guys. He's a stud. I love baby Megatron. Give me Kenny Golladay. We want some high upside. So as you can see, only 4,600 left. We need to find some value. Let's see where to find some value. Can I just see where I found some value earlier? I found value. Okay, I did go Riddick over AP. Oh, we got to talk about my boy Calvin Ridley. Last time Calvin Ridley played this team was not pretty. It was his coming out party. Welcome to the NFL, Calvin Ridley. 7 catches, 146 yards, 3 touchdowns. Calvin Ridley is not going to surprise the Saints this week. The Saints are not going to be like, oh, I don't know who number 18 is. We don't need to worry about him. They will know where Calvin Ridley is on the field at every play. But the thing is, with Julio balling, you cannot focus on Calvin Ridley because there's so many weapons on this team. Mohamed Sanu, Austin Hooper, Julio, Calvin Ridley, all you can do is just know that you don't want to get crushed by him. But you can't double him. You can't force coverage his way. So, I think that he still hasn't caught less than 3 passes in a game since then. He's cooled off a bit. But at 5,400, I like Calvin Ridley a lot. I'm going to throw him right in there. A lot of guys I like, too, in this range for receivers. I like Allen Robinson this week in this matchup. Did he play? This was that big game against Detroit. I think that Slay might be back to cover him this week. We'll see. But he torched them last time, guys. 6 for 133 and 2 touchdowns. At 5,500, that's a steal. Who else do I like? Traquan. Traquan coming off a 10 for 157 and touchdown game against the Eagles, guys. He just torched them. One of my favorite things was a quote that we had from Drew Brees. Traquan was talking about what Drew Brees said to him in the game. He said, Drew Brees met Traquan in the end zone after his touchdown, and he said, you know why I threw that ball to you? Because I trust you. Having trust from Drew Brees, a 39-year-old quarterback, a future Hall of Famer, could be the MVP this year, somebody that's leading the best offense in football, having that trust in a rookie receiver means a lot, and I think that he might have turned the corner. I don't know if 4,700 is the perfect price range for him. I still prefer him at 4,000, 4,200, 4,300. But you can do a lot worse than Traquan there. Mohamed Sanu in what should be a shootout. Cole Beasley I like, but there's no one really down here I like. So the last guy I want to talk about is Anthony Miller, guys. I am a huge Anthony Miller fan. I wrote a huge thread on him on Twitter. Just kept going. All the good things I can say about him. Anthony Miller, 10th in the air yards since week 7. Played 22 snaps in the slot against the Detroit Lions, even when Allen Robinson was there. He is a fixture in this offense. He plays 71% of his snaps in the slot. Trubisky has thrown for the 5th most yards and 2nd most touchdowns to slot wide receivers this year. Allen Robinson got in the end zone again week 11 and week 10 and week 11. So I love Anthony Miller there. Say I draft him, I know that I went here and I went Theo. So and I do like that lineup the best. A lot of times I write that article and give you the example lineup, and then I change a little bit for the video. But this is definitely my preferred lineup this week. There's a lot of stuff you can do differently. You can throw Drew Brees in there. You can throw Zeke in there. You can throw Michael Thomas in there. You can throw Austin Hooper, Jordan Reed, Jeff Swain. Do whatever you want, guys. But this is a lineup I like. I'm not telling you this is a lineup you should play. I'm giving you guys my opinions on everyone. If you made it this far, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. The article is in the description. This Thanksgiving article that I keep referring back to is in the description. Click the link. It's just more detail about each guys. They give projections on everyone. I might not talk about someone in the video that I talked about in the article, so check that out. Leave me a comment. Let me know who's your favorite play this week for Thanksgiving. Who do you think, without reading the article, before you read the article, comment down below if you know the answer to who has the most passing yards on Thanksgiving all time, both a single game most passing yards and career on Thanksgiving, who has the most passing yards. If you know the answer to either of those two questions, comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.